What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Just, back at another video. There's your one-stop shop for anime and manga. Let's get into it. I want to start by saying thank you to everyone still subscribing. If you're new here, you like my content, you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the button to post another video, follow me on Twitter, links will be in the description. So it's been a minute now, so I decided to do a reading log just to put y'all on to different series that I'm currently reading right now, and I gotta say I'm super excited to share this with y'all. My goal here is to let y'all know what I'm reading currently, what's in my mindset really, and also just to put y'all on to maybe a series that you've been either on the fence about or maybe you heard nothing at all about. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's get started. So the first thing that I'm reading is Call of the Night. So specifically with Call of the Night, so I did read everything digitally on the Shonen Jump app. Right now I am rereading the physicals. I think I'm on volume 18 or 19 at this point with the physicals. But I also wanted to put on Call of the Night because I also recently read the Paradise arc that just recently came out and just ended. And I gotta say I'm really, really in love with it. It's really good. It does take away a little bit from the ending of Call of the Night. Me personally, I wasn't a huge fan of the ending of Call of the Night. I do like the Paradise arc in the fact that it adds some context to what was going on. So for those of you that don't know, Call of the Night follows Ko. He is a middle schooler who just goes out. Basically, he dropped out of middle school and he just goes out at night and he just walks around the city until he runs into Nazuna the vampire. And originally, she feeds on his blood, and he thinks, oh my god, he's going to become a vampire. Little does he know that's not how you turn in this world. So in this world, in order to become a vampire, the human must fall in love with the vampire, and then the vampire has to feed on the human's blood. So for this case, because Ko is like in middle school, he doesn't really know what love is. Like, he's a little aloof to his own feelings. So he decides that he wants to become a vampire, so he has to fall in love with Nazuna. And Nazuna is not going to do anything to try and get him to fall in love with her. And also, he doesn't know what his feelings are or nothing like that. He doesn't really know, he doesn't really have emotions. He's just existing, I guess you could say. And it's this whole crazy bombastic story because he's just trying to fall in love with this girl and he has no idea what he's even doing. And then you find out a whole bunch. What I really do love about this series in particular is just the backdrop of it. You really get the sense that there's no one around because it is, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, whatever. And they just traverse through the night. Like, it's a nice, chill slice of life series. It does have some action, does have some mystery. So it does go and touch upon other genres, which is why I really do love Call of the Night. But the main thing I began reading was that Paradise arc. So the Paradise arc follows in between the time skip. So there's a time skip at the end of Call of the Night, and it's basically what Ko did during that time skip, and he basically needs to find an idol, ends up getting basically inducted into this cult that is technically run by a vampire, but he goes and he tries to find out if it's true that is a vampire running the cult, and it's a whole big thing. It's okay, it's not bad. I do like it just because I love Call of the Night. For someone else who probably wasn't a big fan of Call of the Night, they may not enjoy the Paradise arc. So that's what I've been reading currently in terms of Call of the Night. I'm rereading the physicals and I've also finished the digital Paradise arc. I personally don't like when series do that. Like, after the series is done, you add extra chapters after that. So I don't know how they're gonna collect that into a series, probably a special edition or a short story or something, because it really wasn't long. I think it was maybe 10 chapters at most. So I have no idea how it's going to collect that physically, because now I do want that in my collection because I have all of Call of the Night. This is volume 20, but now I don't have the Paradise arc. The next thing I've been reading is The Climber. So I did start collecting The Climber physically, but I have read a little bit past this online. I think I'm on volume 6, around there. And this is an amazing sports series. I mean, this is about mountain climbing and ice climbing, and I did not think I was going to enjoy this as much as I do. I believe this creator did Innocent, so I did try Innocent, and I wasn't really a fan. So I decided, you know what, let me just try The Climber, and I gotta say, it's an incredible, just a different take on a sports series. So for me, most of the sports series, and I'm relatively new into sports series. Most of the sports series, it's essentially the same thing. Takes place in high school, and they're always trying to go to nationals, or there's a lot of slice of life stuff, and then you get to the games. The only sports series that I really gotten into was Haiku, Ace of Diamonds, Kuroko Basket, what else? Blue Lock. So yeah, I think that's about it. Ice Shield 21. So I have dabbled a little bit in sports series. I do want to check out Slam Dunk and Rio. I heard those are really good. But I wanted to give my hand at The Climber, and it's an amazing series. So it follows the main character here, who's Mori, and he is a loner. He was kicked out of his school because they say that he basically inadvertently had someone basically self-delete themselves. I don't know if that's the case, but he got expelled from his old school, and people know that about him, and he's just a loner. And he ends up getting bullied by the head rock climber in the school. And the head rock climber bullies him and says, "Listen, I'll let you off the hook if you can climb to the top of that ledge on the building." And Mori, instinctively, he does it, and he just is an amazing climber. He pulls off a move that veteran rock climbers are struggling to do. So when he sees that, he brings him to his captain, who's like a guidance counselor or something, or a teacher in the school, and they basically put Mori on to rock climbing. And the thing about rock climbing is you're supposed to do it as a team. But Mori, he wants to do everything alone. He likes being alone. He doesn't like interaction, doesn't like social interaction. And what's insane about this series is that you start off in high school, real quick, and then there's an instant time jump. And I'm talking about within the first few volumes, there's an instant time jump. And then you go into him as an adult, and you see that he's basically struggling in life. He has these little part-time jobs or whatever, and he's just spending every single penny he has on rock climbing equipment, on sites to go rock climbing, and he's basically living in the cheapest apartment you can think of. He has nothing in it whatsoever. He essentially just only eats scraps, and he just trains, and he spends every penny he has trying to rock climb. And to the point that I got up to, he ends up going on this crazy expedition, and unfortunately, a lot of people end up losing their life, partly because of him, but it really just shows you the depth of how dangerous rock climbing can be, and it shows you just how much being alone in rock climbing, even though in this series you can make it work, it is very, very, very dangerous. And that Mori, even though he does have just an innate talent to it, he's really is a rookie. He doesn't know all the ins and outs of stuff. He can see a mountain, he can see the path, but he doesn't know what the terrain is gonna bring. I am really enjoying this one right now because it's a different take on a sports series. At least for me, it's not the standard. We go to a tournament, we lose, we train, go to another tournament, and then we end up winning. It's not as simple as that. It's literally almost a psychological drama with him just dealing with what it is to really be alone, and be alone in a sport that it's not made for you to just go ahead and climb, an insane dangerous ice mountain by yourself. So now another thing that I'm currently reading and I am really enjoying is Wash It All Away. I just want to put a lot of people onto this series because if you're like me and you like relaxing slice of life series, then you're going to absolutely love this. I always I equate this to almost like a Studio Ghibli vibe. If you ever watch any Studio Ghibli movie, Spirited Away, Ponyo, if you watch any of those, even Howl's Moving Castle, whatever, the series, it has a specific tone. Before everything pops off in the movie, Studio Ghibli movies has a specific tone where everything is just, condensed into a small town. Everyone really knows each other, and it's just, I guess, cozy, you could say. And Wash It All Away is the only manga series I've read so far that actually encompasses all of that. So basically in Wash It All Away, it says it here in the back, leave it to Kinmei, a charming slice of life story that soothes the chaos of a modern world. Because this is modern times, but she is in a small town where everyone really knows each other, and she's running a laundromat business. And because in the town there is a lot of older people, she actually goes and she makes deliveries, she makes pickups, she goes out of her way to like help the people around her. And then on top of that, she's just almost like crazily obsessed with cleaning things. Like if she's walking down, the block, and she sees someone with like a dirty garment, she's gonna, oh my god, you have to do this, you have to do that, oh, can I clean it for you? It'll be free of charge, of course. I don't know how she's making money, but she does stuff like that. And it's just so sweet and so heartwarming. And there's a little twist in it, because so far what I've read of it, there's a thing that Kinmei, she doesn't remember, I think it's the last 2 or 3 years of her life. Like her memories, for whatever reason, only go back about 2 or 3 years. And whenever she does something, she's like, oh, this is the first time I've done this. I must have done this before I lost my memory, my muscle, and I have muscle memory based on it. And so because of that, this is a strange, like very cozy slice of life series that I really didn't see myself getting into. But aside from like the vibe of it all, the artwork itself is by far amazing. I really do enjoy it. And just the fact that whenever I read Watch It All the Way, I'm just instantly put in a good mood. It's in that same vein as Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You. If you've seen any of my videos, you know what I feel about when it comes to that series. But honestly, Watch It All the Way, I'm super excited that I think there's going to be 10 volumes. So right now we've only gotten 3. I cannot wait to see where this series is going to go. And I like shorter slice of life series like that just, self-contained. And I just hope it just gets better and better. Now, it may be a little boring for some people, because it is like, this is one of the more mundane slice of life series that I have read basically ever. But I'm okay with it because of that like cozy feel that, yeah, she's in a small town. Everyone is just like, they all ride together, they all in it together, and she's just doing her best to help out everyone in her community. And I absolutely love that about Kinmei. So last thing I've been reading is Mr. Villain's Day Off, and this is another one. I've been on a real like slice of life kick. Y'all know me, I do love my slice of life, but this, like, I don't know, recently I just been really in the mood for it. And Mr. Villain's Day Off is an amazing series. I really do enjoy this one as well. And I think the main reason I love it is because I really did grow up on Power Rangers, and this is basically what I always pictured Power Rangers would be from the villain's perspective. So the character here, he is a supervillain. He's actually an alien, and he's come to basically, him and his crew came to take over the Earth, and they're going to wipe out all of humanity. And they're basically being stopped by the Power Rangers. Like they don't, obviously they can't say that they're Power Rangers, but they're basically Power Rangers. And the series follows him on his days off. So basically, him going ahead and trying to rule the entire world. It's basically for him almost like a 9 to 5, like Monday to Friday type of job type of thing. And so it's insane because it's a whole like bureaucracy type of thing. He really does have, sometimes he has paperwork he has to do after he's fought people, after he's done all this stuff. And so the series is really just about him, what he does on those days off, basically his weekends, what he does. And it's just insane, the different like mundane things you would not think. For me, this is exactly where my brain went whenever I was watching like Power Rangers growing up. I would be like, what is like the supervillain doing when he's not out there, actually fighting the Rangers? In my head, he was doing things like this. So the main character, he loves pandas. He loves just doing different things. He loves going to convenience stores, getting different sweet treats and whatnot. And you really just get it's like a funny comedy in that aspect, because this is one of the most dangerous dudes in that crew, and he is just doing whatever. He's just living his life like a normal human, essentially. And then he has like, these inner monologues where I love this place. When I take over the world, this human will be a special human that I will protect for a little bit. It's things like that. Or he absolutely loves pandas. So when he takes over the world, he's going to be like, I'm going to save all of the pandas. But it's things like that where you wouldn't expect it. And I do really love the series because it's so short. I think there's 6 or 7 volumes of Mr. Villain's Day Off, so it's nothing too crazy where, if it gets a little too long, it may get a little boring. Each volume is really just enjoyable because it's almost like a brand new adventure for each one, and honestly, for whatever reason, this doesn't give you the same vibe as Watch It All Away. This is definitely more of like a Mob Psycho 100, One Punch Man type of comedy thing where if One Punch Man was just a slice of life series, this is what you can expect it would be, kind of. If I can say that. There really is no action in this. It's just an insanely powerful, in this case, supervillain just on his days off. And then when he actually runs into basically the Power Rangers, he'll tell them, listen, I'm not gonna do nothing. You can square up if you want. I'm just on my day off, I'm going to the zoo. And he'll just peace out. Or if he runs into someone that he actually knows what he calls from work, he dips out again and he's like, I don't want to talk to no one I know during work, when I'm off of work. Because for him, it really is like a 9 to 5. And we can all, especially if you're in the workforce, you can relate to that type of thing where on my days off, I'm not trying to say, I love my coworkers, but I ain't trying to see them on my days off all the time. You know what? I'm trying to relax. If I see people I think I know, I dug down, I'm gone. So in this series, it's a lot like that, and it's very, very relatable in that aspect, even though he's an alien supervillain. So take that with what you will. I highly recommend Mr. Villain's Day Off. I do recommend the anime first because the pacing can be a little bit slower in the manga. The anime with the music and with the animation, I do think it hits amazingly well. And the anime covers a pretty good size amount of the manga, so definitely just check out the anime. So that's everything I want to share with y'all that I'm currently reading. So obviously it's not much right now because I don't put in my reading logs my basically Shonen Jump series that I'm always reading. Those weekly series, it's always going to be the same. Right now, what is it? Shinobi Undercover, Kagurabachi, One Piece, what else? Blue Box. It's always the same type of stuff. So those don't really change too much. Boruto when it comes out monthly. And obviously, Black Clover when it comes out every 3-4 months, whenever that comes out. So this is the physical stuff that I've been reading, the more different things. So I just wanted to put you on maybe to a series that you've never heard about, or maybe to a series that, you've been on the fence about, and maybe now you want to pick this up. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, and you like my content, you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing, leaving a like, the bell so I'm posting a video. Follow me on Twitter. Links gonna be in the description. This is your boy Just. I'm off this.